Hi, Pastor Mark here, another Wednesday. Um, kind of like last week, I'm not sure if this is really a Bible study or just some things on my mind. But in thinking about the Lord's return, in my mind, I was reminded of Daniel chapter 12 in the fourth verse, where the angel tells Daniel, okay, stop writing here. I think the King James words it as shut up the words and seal the book, the angel says, even all the way to the time of the end. Now, referring to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Well, if there is any kind of a sign that we may be close to the end of the time, or the time of the end, I should say, that would be that knowledge has increased and people are running to and fro. Um, we travel all over the place. Uh, People are going all over the world every day. If you look up into the sky on any given day, you're going to see vapor trails from commercial jets flying from one place to another, and you can see the tracks in the sky. There aren't many people in the central and western part of the country that I live in, the United States, that travel on trains, but on the East Coast, the train travel is still pretty popular. Freeways are filled, interstate highways are filled with vehicles, trucks, campers, RVs, vehicles towing boats. We're going all over the place, folks. We're running to and fro. Until about the last 150 years or so, give or take a little bit, most people didn't travel further than about 20 miles, 25 miles from their home in their life. Yeah, it's not that way today. It's not that way today. So in thinking about that, thinking about the return of the Lord, knowledge being increased, that cell phone that you have in your hand, in your pocket, in your purse, on your table, is so much more powerful than the computers on the spacecraft that took the astronauts to the moon and back. I read earlier today that the Apollo computer had I think it's called kilobytes. Well, I think we're familiar with megabytes and gigabytes. 1 megabyte is 1,024 kilobytes. And the computer on the Apollo spacecraft had 4 kilobytes, which is nothing. That won't even, if your cell phone had 4 kilobytes, you may not even get a phone call all the way to New Jersey. I'm just kidding, of course, but it's very weak, underpowered. I read this morning that our modern computers today in 2025 are 1,000 times faster than the Apollo computer. Wow. That's just been since the 1960s. If you think about it, until the advent of steam trains in the 1800s, prior to that, the only modes of travel for people were walking, riding some kind of a horse, or being in some kind of a animal-drawn carriage or wagon or buggy. And that was it. For thousands of years, that was it. Steam trains come along. Wow, that was a big change. The Industrial Revolution is about that same time. Eli Whitney's cotton gin, textiles, next thing you know, it's all like the world's on fire. So many advances. Telegraph was invented, and you could be in one city and send a message to someone hundreds of miles away, and that message would be transmitted within seconds, and someone on the other side would write it down who could read the code, understand the code, the dots and the dashes, and they would send that to you. If you were here in the United States, it was generally the company Western Union. Western Union would show up at your house, knock on the door, and give you a message. And you could read it, and your Uncle Larry just told you that your Aunt Betty had twins, or whatever the message might be. And you knew that instantly, basically, even though by today's standards that's not very fast. Radio was invented, and you could hear the voice of someone that was transmitted through the air. You can't see it. You didn't need a wire. Telegraph, you needed a wire. When the telephone was invented later, after radio, when the telephone was invented, they needed a wire to transmit the voices. But still, that was marvel. What a marvel. But radio, that was spectacular. And then came television. You see where this is going. So much has increased. Medicine, science, computers, all kinds of things. Knowledge has increased at an accelerated rate in just this tiny little window of time, roughly 150 years, 160 years or so. On the timeline of humanity, that's a really short time frame. We are in the last time. We are living very near to the time of the end. And so I would ask you, are you ready? Are you living, acting, thinking, behaving like you're ready? Because if you're not, you need to. You need to make that change now. If you are, well, then continue to share that good news with others so that others can also be saved. Well, I hope this is a blessing to you today. I hope to see you this Sunday, 10:30 at the True by Hilton, the large conference room on the main floor, 72nd and Haskell. God bless you. Have a great rest of your day.